I just want to welcome everybody. Thanks so much for getting on. We are, the Hamilton Partnership is an organization that's been around since about 1992, I believe. And it was basically a bunch of businesses that got together and, wanted to be a part of revitalizing economic development in Hamilton. So we work with the township, and the businesses were kind of the go-between, basically, to make sure that everybody's in the same room, everybody's talking, everybody's, getting the answers that they need to get, and doing things like this, kind of connecting people. So thank you so much for getting on. We've got a couple people on the phone. So I'm just going to go around really quickly since there's not that many of us. Just introduce yourself. I'll call you out. So I already introduced Kate Kane, Associate Director of Economic Development, and Lori Danko, even though it says she's Dan Danko, but
Sorry.
That's okay.
Working from home.
Working from home. It's all good. So I'll just ask Kelly. Kelly Reck, do you want to introduce yourself and your two jobs?
I know, right? Multiple personalities over here. Yes, I'm Kelly Reck. I am the owner of the Rec Center for Performing Arts. I am a dance studio who, like I said on the call earlier that you guys are on, we're kind of in limbo right now. So we're trying to figure out how and when to reopen. And then I also have a position, the Director of Marketing and Sales with the Landing of Hamilton, which is a new assisted living and memory care community that will be opening very soon in Hamilton. So, it's been an interesting ride with both of those jobs. But I thanked Kate and Fred. I don't know if you heard earlier, but after the last Shop Hamilton meeting, I had a quick question, and the two of you got back to me within 5 minutes after the meeting ended, and I appreciate that. And it's just a testament to how the township is here to support us and figure out how to move forward. So I just wanted to thank the both of you again. So thank you.
Thanks, Kelly. Deb, Deb Runyon, how are you? Want to introduce yourself? We can't hear you. I think you're muted. Oh, no.
Okay, there you go. Thank you.
There we are.
Good morning. Deb Runyon, Customers Bank. We're certainly here to help the businesses. If any businesses out there that has not obtained a PPP loan, I am still accepting applications till June 30th. They've made it a lot more flexible now. So if you haven't taken advantage of that, please reach out. Customers Bank, Route 33. Wish you all well.
Thanks so much, Deb. Thanks. Tim, I know you're driving, but do you want to introduce yourself?
Sure. Good morning, everybody. My name's Tim Bowersax. I'm from the Cross and Shamrock store on Route 33, and it's great to be here. And we're open, so we're excited about that. And anything you need, Irish gifts or religious items, mostly Catholic and Christian, we have. So thank you.
Thanks so much. And I see Dave Russell is next on my list, at least.
Hi, I'm actually a business in South Plainfield, but we do business with a lot of Hamilton and Hamilton area businesses.
Sure.
Got an invite through my email, so I figured I'd log on and see what it's about. Great.
Thanks so much for joining. And Connie Dalton, I know there we go.
I'm here. Yep.
There you are.
How's everybody?
Good.
Connie Dalton from Corrales Chocolates in Hamilton Township. And we've been open, and we're doing pretty good, but depends on what the future holds. So hopefully we can all be proactive and get ready for, things to get better and business to get better. So.
Yeah, they've been open because it's, food, and chocolate and manufacturing. So Connie's been open since before Easter. So it was crazy trying to shop for chocolate and Easter bunny, chocolate Easter bunnies through the window. But
right.
They were great with posting pictures on lots of chocolate and putting it out there. We're open. So it was really
Sorry
great.
about that. There you go.
Thank you. I have Mike. I'm not sure who Mike is, but if you want to introduce yourself. All right, we can come back to Mike because I'm not quite sure who that is. And then Brian, you were on yesterday, but do you want to introduce yourself, Brian?
Hey, good morning again. My name is Brian Duff. I'm a partner at Calaveras, Momola, Hartman, and Lenta. We're a law firm right in the heart of Hamilton, right off of 5 Points intersection. And I'm paying attention to this meeting like some of the others that we have scheduled for this week and next week, just to help some of my clients with regard to reopening.
Perfect. Thanks so much for joining. So basically, and we also have Chris Helwig just joined. Chris is the health officer actually for Hamilton Township, and is here to answer any questions. I'm going to put him on the spot in a minute after Fred talks too, like we did yesterday, if you don't mind, Chris. But just a wealth of information. They're here to kind of answer questions on social distancing and hand washing and cleaning. And yesterday was great with the restaurants, about what they, could accomplish and when they had to wear gloves and all kinds of questions that were specific to, food service. So Chris is here and I will introduce him in a second, but I just wanted to introduce Fred Dumont real quick. Fred is the Director of Community and Economic Development for the Township and has 9 divisions that report to him. So they're working with all the different businesses on zoning and planning and outdoor dining and tents, everything kind of together. So I'm gonna ask Fred to just say hi and give us an overview of what's been happening.
Thank you, Rachel. And so some of you know the background. Economic development was separate from my department. Rachel had a hand in bringing economic development here. And the main concept was one-stop shop. So you want to open up a business, you want to renovate a business, the problems in your business, you come here, you deal with economic development, you deal with zoning, planning, right down the line. All your needs are addressed. And so when somebody comes in before us, homeowner or business, and they come into our planning department, and they say, we want to put a pool and a fence, add an addition, loading dock, whatever. We don't say yes, no, we say, let's see how we can make this help. So our motto is to help businesses, certainly help our homeowners. We work for you. And that's very clear every single day. So a lot of hours, our hours are 8:30 to 4:30. I don't believe anybody knows that here in this office. People are here at 7:30 and they leave at 6:30 at night. So I'm very proud of my department. And Kate's on here, Kate was an appointment of mine. I'm very proud of that appointment, how it's panned out for us. So Connie talked about, the future. So, but we have to look a little bit in the past. So I feel horrible for businesses. And we've done everything we can to try to get you open. And now we need to keep you open. So that's why we worked with the federal government to get a community block grant monies. And we're giving $15,000 of that monies to Shop Hamilton to promote businesses and $15,000 to the partnership to help businesses. So I wish we had more. I wish there was more we could do, but that's the start of what we're going to do here now. So we talk about the future. Yesterday with our restaurants, we said we're going to have all the restaurants in for a meeting in September. And I want to announce today that we're going to have all the retail businesses in shortly after that in September, because we want to look at our zoning laws and see what we have to change to have curbside pickup permanent, sidewalk sales, parking lot sales, and things like that. So the message is clear. We're here to help. I'm not a business owner, so I need you to tell me what's needed out there, and then we will get it done. And Kelly, you and I need to have a conversation after this meeting, because we need to think outside of the box with your business, and I've got some ideas. I've been talking with Miss Chin. Help me with her.
Yes, Jen, I was going to say the same thing. I was going to call you too, Kelly, after, because we're working on, you're considered, or the way that they considered Dance It Up with Music was a retail establishment. So she's been really creative, and we've done our recital, and we're doing a recital this weekend actually too at the studio. So because you are retail and you can be open as retail, we need to have a conversation.
Okay. Yeah, I definitely want to have a conversation, because there's been so many discussions back and forth on whether it's considered a contact sport or, yada, yada. And I'm like, well, the last time I was like tackling or rolling around on the floor with anyone in my dance studio was never. So
Exactly.
getting lumped into that category was a little crazy. But so we'll definitely connect. Thank you.
Okay, perfect.
And I'm actually going to Miss Chin's studio tonight to watch some of what they do. And, you know, the grandfather of 7 boys can't wait to go there and see all those young girls. I hope I don't take a few home with me, you know,
In
try to
little
calm down my
tutus.
house a little bit.
Exactly.
But-
Yeah.
But seriously, give me on my cell and we'll talk after this. All right.
Okay.
Thanks.
Okay, thank you.
So we just also had Mike, actually, Brasico, I think it is, from Memory Makers. His audio is not working, so that's the mic on the call. So I just wanted to acknowledge him. They just moved right to George Dye Road over there next behind Rita's Water Ice. So they're in there with the printer. Printworks, thank you. Printworks, thank you. They merged with Printworks, and they're in over on George Dye Road there. And then Marilyn Silverman just joined too from Word Center Printing. So thanks, Marilyn, for joining. So I just wanted to introduce Kate Kane, who is, I said, the Assistant Director of Economic Development. She and I have been working very, very closely to, keep businesses abreast of what's going on and kind of making that connection between everybody. We even were walking door to door last week, trying to promote these meetings that we're having, but then also just to kind of check up on people. And a lot of them said to us, oh my goodness, nobody from the township has ever come unless they were, coming from the health department and wanted to make sure we were following the rules. We
Be
said,
careful,
no, we're just
Chris is on.
Yeah, we just want to make sure you're okay. How is business? What can we do to help? So, so we're going to continue to do that throughout the summer. And, in the meantime, we go and have lunch somewhere too. So it's kind of fun. But it's been a great opportunity to work together, to kind of make sure that businesses are up and running and do everything we can possibly do to get them moving forward. So Kate, I'm going to introduce you.
Thank you. We're here as a township on a couple different levels, right? So, we have the health component, we have the zoning component, and especially with the outdoor dining, we saw a lot of this over the last couple weeks. And then, we're here to really help drive more traffic to your businesses. So, that's the capacity that we're here on all these different levels, whether it's making your customers safe and then figuring out how to lay out your outside dining or, curbside a little bit differently. And then also, how can you bring in more, business, whether it's connecting with Rachel and the partnership, connecting with Shop Hamilton, and then also just how are you reaching your customers? I think that from this, we've all learned, really knowing your customers, how you can contact them, is really important in this time because they may not be able to come to you physically in your store. So, how are you reaching them? How are you keeping top of mind, over the last couple of weeks? So I think bringing everybody together, and that would, obviously it's going to be like one of our first questions, but, what really worked for you? And maybe there's something that you can share that allowed you to really keep constant communication with your customers over this time and how you got creative, and those are some things. And then what challenges you're seeing, from a standpoint of how to keep your customers safe, or is it a temperature check question? So these are all things that we kind of wanted to really have an open discussion about. So, so I guess I want to just open it up. Maybe actually, should we put Chris on the spot first? You're muted now, Rachel.
Yeah, I was just going to say that. Why don't we, because Chris, I think probably has a little bit more information that can share than we can even come up with questions for. So we may answer the questions. But do you mind, Chris, is there anything retail specific that you can share with us about the health department, from the health department?
Good morning, everyone. So I'm Chris Helwig. I'm the health officer here for the township, and I oversee the Division of Health. So I know a lot of you probably don't deal with the health department on a day-to-day basis, but I did hear some folks that, we do deal with. So in regards to, moving forward and in regards to COVID, we're here for you. We want to be that technical assistance that if you guys have questions about, do my employees, are they required to wear a mask or is it recommended? At the end of the day, it's required. Really, anybody indoors should be wearing a mask right now, especially in public, or if they're shopping or doing any indoor businesses, and you're having your customers come in, unless they're under the age of 2 or have a medical reason that permits them to not wear one. Additionally, if you have questions about like how often you should be cleaning or what type of cleaner that you should be using, those are all types of questions that we can help guide you in the right direction and give you that technical assistance, especially with retail businesses that there's not great and specific guidance for every type of business that's out there, and we can kind of work with you to identify, all right, this makes the most sense for you. This is what the state is saying for a similar type of business, and this is what CDC is saying, and this is what we would recommend moving forward. So we're here to answer any questions, and we definitely love for you guys to reach out. So if there's any specific questions, I can definitely help you out.
Great. Thanks so much, Chris. So going back to Kate's questions, I mean, I know that a lot of you have been there's a mix of people that have been open and not open, but I mean, retail's fully been open for a week. So is there anything that you're seeing that is working, that is not working? What challenges are you finding? Marilyn? Yeah.
A couple of things. We've actually been allowed to be open throughout, but we locked the door. So we could see who wanted to come in before we even let them in. But now we've unlocked the door. So we purchased a very large face shield, an acrylic shield that just has a slot at the bottom to pass credit cards through. That gave everybody a nice sense of safety. But yesterday something, and we're disinfecting the doorknob, the outside and the inside, after every single customer who comes in. And we're wiping down the counter that person stood at. Basically, it's one customer at a time. We have a really small front area. So 2 people, us and one customer. After that, it gets antsy. So we've been asking people to just wait outside. But yesterday, somebody was waiting at the counter, and he reached over, and we have a little jar of wrapped candies, which I didn't even think about. But he opened up the jar and he took out a wrapped candy and said thank you. And after he left, I thought, who knows how dirty his hand is? So, or whatever. So I'm taking that away. No food. No food at all. So that's one thing I picked up yesterday. Another thing that I learned, because my husband and I are really in the high susceptibility category. And so I have to be even more careful. But yesterday, or actually last week, I found out that if you have type A blood, you are actually 45% more likely to catch COVID and have a serious case of it. Everybody in my immediate family has type A blood. So it's just giving me another level of wear your mask, stay apart, wash your hands, disinfect, wipe down, and be careful. But it didn't stop me from getting my hair done yesterday. I'm just practicing being very mindful and careful. And going on.
Exactly. Exactly.
Thanks for sharing, Marilyn. Any other questions? I know, Mike, I know you're communicating with us in the group chat. It looks like you've moved, and I'm so sad by that. I don't know if there's anything that Deb Runyon can maybe assist you with a loan or grant, but maybe we can talk offline and come up with some ideas. I know his audio is not working, but I wanted to obviously acknowledge all the question or the comments in the group chat as well.
Yeah, I know that we talked about it yesterday a little bit about, landlords and, I mean, obviously they have bills to pay too. But, some are working well with their customers and some are not working as well. So I know that, especially with the restaurants, it's been interesting conversations about, what you are able to do. We actually were on the, Shop Hamilton call a minute ago, and Greg Blair from Nottingham Insurance was talking about liability coverage for being outside. So I know that some people are putting business product or whatever outside. So he said that liability covers you 100 feet beyond your walls. So that's helpful to know. But then beyond that, if you need to have insurance for the product that you're putting outside, that may be something that you need to talk to your insurance agent about. So if you're, wanting to do other activities or putting out, items or whatever outside, liability wise, you may be, covered, if somebody trips and falls on your, your front steps or your sidewalk, but the product that you're putting out there for a sidewalk sale might not necessarily be. So that's something to consider as you're thinking about going outside your walls, which was interesting. The other thing, and I think it's interesting.
Rach, can I just comment about that?
Yep.
So if somebody is going to go outside their physical structure, just let us know. Okay. We're not going to issue anybody's zoning violations, as long as the executive order continues by the governor. But just a heads up to us in case we get a complaint, we say we acknowledge it and we've blessed this. So, but that's why we want to have the meeting in the fall to put the permanent changes in place. So we're going to need the partnership. We're going to need your members, the businesses, all to tell us what's needed. Then we'll get it done.
Mm-hmm. Thanks, Fred. As everything was closed, we actually had a number of organizations that were getting really creative with Instagram and Facebook. And with retail, I think it was interesting to talk about, visual. And I'm going to, kind of put Connie and Susan Corella on the spot there. But, they did a really, really great job on keeping everybody informed of what was happening. Like I said, for the Easter, obviously one of their biggest, for chocolate, one of their biggest, things. It was great to see, what was new every day. So, as Joan was making the chocolate, they were putting it on Instagram and putting it on Facebook, and, would actually walk you around the store and, shop with you on FaceTime if you really needed to, to have something face to face and you wanted to see what was there. Which was really great. And then you could just kind of pick up curbside to go in, and really amazing. And I know not everybody has a really robust website, but with, social media being as important as it is and has become even more over the past 4 months, we saw a lot of organizations really get creative with their, posts and, having, online shopping when you don't necessarily have a website that's as robust as Nordstrom's or Amazon for lack of a better, connection. Did anybody else see anything else? I mean, Kate, where are you seeing, creative wise in terms of retail? I mean, anybody has calling and seeing different.
I was just going to say, I did see somebody, over the course of this where they did a really good promotion, purchase a gift card, right? $100 gift card. And then they had attached a gift that was unique to their store, right? So maybe there's something that will spark an idea for someone else to do. But, at this point, and I wanted to make this comment, we have a lot of residents in Hamilton, and they are loyal. And, I think it's important to really not be afraid to ask them to support you, because they will. And I think getting that message out that you're open, it's important to let them know that you have the hours that you're having, whether you're doing curbside, whether you are officially allowing customers inside. I think it's important. Don't just assume that they know, oh, the executive order got lifted, they must be open. people are creatures of habit. They need to be informed and they need to have it right in front of their faces. But I thought it was a unique way for this particular shop to drive some revenue during a time where they weren't seeing their customers. They have a large Instagram base and following, so they've been able to capture their customers over the course of the last couple years. And, you know, this was something that really helped them. And now, you know, people will start using those gift cards over the course of the next 6 to 8 months for holiday gifts. But maybe there's an opportunity right now for you to tap into a Christmas in July, a holidays in July. Like, try to think creatively outside the box, but there's no reason why you can't come up with a creative promotion, or maybe there's something that's unique to your business that captures the market share, the audience. And, you know, and you can really think outside of the county or outside of Hamilton too, you know, start branching out into the county. And there's other, you know, organizations, the Princeton Mercer Regional Chamber, that's allowing you to put directory information on their website. You don't have to be a member, but now you're reaching a bigger audience. And I know Corella's recently had a couple, I don't know if Connie's still on, but a couple sales from outside even the state. So, you know, that online presence, it's really powerful. And I think we're learning through all of this, communicating and having contact with your customers really helped businesses and really hurt and affected businesses by not being able to reach them over this course of this pandemic. So, you know, just something to think about. You can even start today by having something in your store that captures email addresses, doing a raffle, but anything that you can start communicating on a regular basis that you're having a promotion or a sale or a pop-up sale to drive some more traffic into your stores, I think is really going to make the difference. So, and there are ways that we can promote it. I mean, as a town, we can't promote it on our official website or our official Facebook page, but Rachel's here, Shop Hamilton's here, you know, and members of the commission, you know, Lori and both Deb Runyon are both on here too. We're able to share it. So, you know, the power of sharing is really unique, especially in Hamilton. So, you know, keep all of this in mind.
I was just going to mention our website. So we have the Hamilton Partnership has a website and just, you know, informational about how to get in touch with us and what we do. But we've created hamiltonstrong.com. So it's hamilton-strong.com, and it's a free website for people who can go from or who can you know, put their registration on that site. From there, go, and we will be promoting it to the residents. Basically, you know, this is what's open, this is how it's open. You create the login and you create the information that's on there, so you can change it daily. You can put you know, different information about promotions or, you know, sales, or your different hours if you're going on vacation, or, you know, you're deciding to open up for more hours. And we'll be promoting it throughout the summer with some private donations to start us up with the residents in town. So that's one thing. If you haven't been on there, please do sign up the business. It's a free to sign up and free to register on that site. And then also the other thing I was going to say is tag us, Hamilton Strong NJ, which is the Hamilton Strong Facebook, and also Hamilton Partnership on Facebook or on Instagram when you're on there, because once you do that, we can then share your promotions. I mean, we're, you know, everything we do, once you post something on your page, you know, we'd have to go through all the businesses in town to then find those posts to then repost on our site and kind of get the it going. But if you tag us, you know, we'll reshare it. It would be great. Connie got knocked off. I'll let her back in. So, I mean, just, you know, please tag us. That would be really, really helpful as well. I think that it's, you know, kind of goes viral if we all kind of get in a room together. And because we can't get in a room together, you know, the social media is really taking off on how to get everybody in a virtual room together to keep talking about each other's pieces. The other thing I wanted to mention, and, you know, this is a little bit outside the box, but collecting information on your customers, I think is a really good thing to do just in general. But, as one Gifted in Robbinsville, they had, since they've been open, they've had a list just on their cash wrap, keep in touch, we'll add you to our text chain. And, so I get a text from them every other day or so on specials, or even just check our Instagram, we're posting new stuff. So they've had my cell phone number for 4 years. It really was helpful in this time. And as you go through and people coming through your business, not everybody's going to give you their number, but, one of those simple asks for how can we keep in touch with you? How can we keep up and, let us know what's going on in your, what will help people let them know what's going on in your business, getting those phone numbers and getting as much information as you possibly can from them really does help. I mean, information is power. It may even help in this sense. It was helping, we talked about it yesterday, with contact tracing. So it's not required to get all of the information about the diners at the restaurants, but it's recommended. And Chris talked about that yesterday. We went in, Kate and I went into Brothers for lunch as we were walking door to door, doing our business walk last week. And Pascal took our name, our cell phone number, and which table we were sitting at. So just in case anybody got sick, he had a record of who was there and which table they sat at and who was in the party, so that he could, notify them if something came up and he had to give that information to the health department, who would then turn around and do contact tracing with it. So, it's something that I think is important for marketing, obviously, but also for, as we get into this pandemic a little bit further, and if we have to do contact tracing on the level that is expected, that you're having and keeping everybody safe and knowing who was in your store, how they were interacting with you, and whether or not there's any information that needs to be shared with the health department from you to them, especially if one of your workers gets sick or something. Anything else? I'm trying to think of any other. When Kate and I were walking the other day, there was some great plexiglass configurations that have come up, and people that are come up with really creative ways to, separate themselves. But any other questions on, contact with customers or anything that has come up?
Or maybe a challenge that you've seen over the last week of being reopened or having to adjust, that maybe it's a common challenge that maybe others are facing.
Have people come back? Are people out there shopping and, coming to the stores, or are they still trying to do it?
I think Tim jumped up. I was curious to see, what activity they're seeing over in Crescent Shamrock. But Corella's, Connie,
Yes.
have you seen an uptick, obviously, since the door has officially been able to open, or?
Very slowly. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, very slowly people are starting to come in. So it's encouraging.
Right. We have a unique fabric in Hamilton. We have a small business, family owned and operated businesses. And then we do have a more corporate retail, right? So we have these two layers, equally important to the fabric of Hamilton. So it's been refreshing. It's been a glimpse of hope to see more cars, especially in the Hamilton marketplace. And, there's been lines out of some of them, obviously the more popular ones like Ross and Pier 1 have seen some lines. But, equally, we have family owned and operated businesses, small businesses. So, we have a variety that it's a balance, right? It's a balance of, support from the residents and capturing their attention, right? So, I guess it's interesting to see, who's been out, how are families coming out again, from all angles, right? So,
Yeah, I think that the future is what we have to look at. I think the businesses come back. It's not going to be a problem, but it's going to be slow. So I think we just kind of prepare ourselves, do what we can in the meantime.
Right.
I'm trying to do what I can. My online business has been really good. That's something that wasn't prior to this. So that's a glimmer of hope, and that's a good thing. So I'm working hard on the website and capturing sales there, and then outreaching to other parts of the country.
Connie, I think you got cut off before, but I did mention, you had a sale recently, I think when we were in last week, from an out-of-state client, and that was a direct result from your online, just
right.
Becoming, having a stronger, a bigger presence, right, out on social media or online, having your website, putting more items on your website, right? So,
Right.
I think
So
all of that.
yeah, it's really helped me focus on that and get more sales through that. What I really like is to be able to have our area, looking better, which would help. And that's always been my one wish and hope. But we are Route 33, which belongs to the state, not the township. So if there was something we could do to enhance that look, because that helps attract customers too. So
Yeah, that's been a long fight for Connie, trying to, when we were Biz 33, she was trying to get the state involved in that. It's been so many years to get through that process with DOT.
it would be if the township could take over part of 33, like where we are, even a block or 2 blocks from Popeyes down to Grayson, even, or the Split. Just take it over and then make some improvements there. I know other townships have done that, I believe. So anyway, that's something, I would like to see eventually. I mean, a lot of our more prosperous areas are taken care of, but it seems like our older properties and older places aren't. So that's something I'd like to see worked on.
Okay. I appreciate the feedback, and we can talk
offline about that. Yeah. Another thing I was thinking, PPE. Is anybody having any problems getting PPE or needing it, or having any questions about when they need to use it when they're interacting with customers or anything? Are you having problems finding it?
I haven't had any.
No. Okay.
Good.
I knew it was a problem at the beginning, but didn't know if there was, and I saw some transfers late last week from some private organizations. So we did have some organizations, larger corporations, that were donating it to the township that was then redistributing it earlier in the process. So didn't know if that was still a problem or if we needed to, but we can, make that request if it is something that we need to do. So that's something that we can reach out to the township and kind of get on the list of things that we can accomplish if anybody has that question. Okay. Well, if there's no other questions, I don't want to keep everybody. We just wanted to kind of open the line of communication. And Kate, do you want to put your email in the chat?
Sure.
If anybody has any questions, and then we can go put this online. If anybody else has anybody else that, missed it or wanted to, hear what was going on, they can go online and see it later today. We can post it on our hamilton-strong.com website. And
and then tomorrow we have professional services. So, that's legal, consulting, accounting,
insurance,
banking. I mean, I know, Dave Russell, what is actually your company do you have the name of it? If you don't mind me asking?
He runs.
something? Okay.
I'm fire and safety services. I work
Oh.
mainly with municipal entities and
Okay.
fire companies on fire apparatus service and repair.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Good. Just knowledge. And then Brian, obviously tomorrow. Oh, wait, Brian just popped off, but you know, obviously a good one for tomorrow. Professional services as well. So,
Good stuff.
and then if anybody, you know, obviously personal care is next Monday. You know, spread the word as you're getting your hair done, Marilyn. Let your professional care
I did.
services know that
I did.
we're having it. Yeah, I'm going Friday, so
Yes, I
it'll
did.
be, you know, so, but, so anyway, if there's
I was
anything
at
else,
Gabe's this morning, and I'll let the health department know they're doing an excellent job. Gabe's Barbershop right down by where Pizza's located, and very clean. Elaine is on top of things down there, so you'll be pleased to know that every edict with regard to the barber shops seems to be being followed and enforced over there.
That's
and
great.
I think that's like the most important thing to remember, you know, as a business owner or any kind of, you know, keeping your customer in mind, having a safe environment, it's peace of mind. You know, us getting our name and phone number when we went into Brothers last week, you know, it set the tone for the way that I'm going to also share that information. And again, it's a referral. We are residents that spread good experiences and also bad experiences. So like Brian just commended that barbershop, you know, just keep that in mind. You know, your customers are chatting and they're sharing that, and you know, and that'll bring more people in and more traffic to you. So
Wonderful. Well, thanks everybody for joining this morning. And like I said, we will see you soon. If you have any questions about Shop Hamilton or the partnership or anything else, just let us know. You can respond back to the email that sent you this link to this site or this meeting. And Kate's going to put hers, or did put her information down there in the chat.
Yep.
So thanks so much.
thank you very much.
All right. Have a great day, everybody.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
But
They can't see me.